Giannis is on a mission, and this is why we love Giannis, yo. He is a no-nonsense guy. He's not, hey, I'm not going to fall into these comparison traps, whether I'm Michael Jordan, I'm as good as LeBron, I'm as good as Kobe, I'm top 5 ever to do it. I'm not, he doesn't fall into this trap, and we love his kind of, media take. He doesn't really want to be in the spotlight. Y'all talk about him just because, he's a big name. He's, he's 2 MVPs. He's in the finals now, so of course you're going to talk about this man, but he's kind of like Kawhi. I'm not going to play this media game. I'm not going to do this dance. I'm not always going to be compared to somebody else. I'm not about that. Once again, another reason why we respect Giannis a ton. Kyrie, you can do the same. Aaron Rodgers, you can do the same. You don't need to make it all about you every time you get talked about in the media when you have to have a response in the media. So here we go. This is what Giannis says. Giannis on going for 4 straight 40-point games like Michael Jordan did versus the Suns in the finals. Quote, "I'm not Michael Jordan. All I care about right now is getting one more win." Love it. Love it. Every time we hear from Giannis, we're just loving everything about it, folks. We just heard him in the gym kind of getting prepared for this finals. When he was talking to PJ Tucker in the open gym, he was like, hey, I missed, 5 free throws in a row. I airball free throws. I missed both of them. I airball threes. I have a poor percentage shooting threes. I'm getting dunked on. I'm getting embarrassed. I'm getting my ankles broken, a couple of times. But what am I going to do? Not play? Not keep going? Of course I am. So we love that attitude by Giannis, and he just doubles it down here, doing all the work on the court, and then saying, I'm not Michael Jordan. I don't care about that narrative. I don't care about that kind of comparison. I care about winning this next game, going 2-2, and then going back to Phoenix, and then winning that game. That's what I'm worried about right now. Don't compare me to anybody. I don't care about that. And that's why we love Giannis so much. Another 40-point game, another dominant victory. He was absolutely unstoppable last night, folks. They had no answer for Giannis like they haven't had for basically the entire series. Even game 1, when he only went for like 20 points, it was like he still was getting it at will. First game back from that big injury that was really a non-injury, and he was still dominant, a plus on the floor, and then another dominant performance here in game 3. So every time Giannis opens his mouth, folks, we love it. We buy it even more. So as we're talking about Giannis, let's just jump right into the game last night. Game 3 in Milwaukee, down 2-0 to the Suns, and the Bucks come back in a must-win game, and they won it. Because if you're down 3-0, it's over, folks. It is over, done, over. Go home, start the offseason. The Suns would be champions. But Giannis puts on a show, and the other kind of role players, the Batman, if you will, gets it done decently. And Jrue Holiday played a great game, so let's just jump right into it. Here we go. Bucks win 120-100 for their win in Game 3, making the series now 2-1. And the next game is Wednesday, folks. We got a couple more days to wait here. All right, but here we go. I mean, Mike Budenholzer is keeping up with the lineup, but only playing Brook Lopez, once again, only 21 minutes, and then playing Pat Connaughton 30 minutes off the bench, and we loved that big time. Pat Connaughton, he has the ability. He may be their best three-point shooter overall, honestly, and, him playing 30 minutes off the bench was fantastic. He wasn't kind of putting on a show-stopping performance points-wise because he didn't need to, because everybody else was scoring very well, but he's still out there, what he does defensively, offensively, and all that. So we'll break down the stats in a second, but let's start talking about the starters here. Jrue Holiday, we needed a big game out of him, and that's exactly what we got last night. He was a plus 22 on the floor, the highest on the squad, so we give him respect. Giannis was a plus 20. He was second highest, so we give big credit to Jrue Holiday last night, and he shot great. 21 points and 9 assists and 5 rebounds and 1 steal and 1 block. So getting it done in every facet of the game. But the most important thing, 5 of 10 from 3, folks. Absolutely magnificent. That's what we needed from Jrue Holiday. He also shot 8 of 14 overall from the field, but like we said, most of his points coming from threes, but that's what they needed, folks, the high clip of the outside shooting. They get it done in down low inside with Giannis, so they just need those outside shooters, so that's why Jrue Holiday was a must last night, and he stepped up absolutely big time. Now, Chris Middleton, decent game, nothing great, not a Batman game, so, I mean, what's his name? Oh, man, it's right on the tip of my tongue. The man that said that Giannis was the Robin and Chris Middleton was the Batman on ESPN. shameful to even be thought of. I wouldn't even have that thought. I don't like to, say you shouldn't be thinking, but if that thought ever popped up in your mind, you better make sure you never think of that again. You have that thought and you're like, oh, that's the dumbest thing I've ever thought, and then you just throw it away. You recycle that thought like SpongeBob, throwing everything into the fire in his mind and his brain. Throwing out everything besides fine dining, and they're trying to find the name. That's what you do with that thought. You throw it into the fire. So Chris Middleton, 18 points. He had 6 assists and 7 rebounds. Solid work there. 3 of 7 from the field and 42% on 14 shots. So once again, not bad overall. He was a +8 on the floor. Just all right. Drew Holiday kind of stepped it up big time with the 21 points that Chris Middleton didn't need to kind of go for 25 plus. So the 18, not bad last night by Chris Middleton. Now, can we buy this? I mean, is this going to work going forward? Only 18 points by Batman Chris Middleton? We'll see. We'll see. Could have done a little bit more to be a little bit more impressive, but overall, not terrible. Good, solid, winning as a third. We can accept it. Brook Lopez, like I said, only played 21 minutes, 11 points, 2 rebounds, 1 of 4 from the 3. Giannis Antetokounmpo, 41 points, 13 rebounds for those offensive boards, 6 assists, +20 on the floor, and he got to the free throw line 17 times, folks. Take a guess. How many do you think he hit? Because he clipped it, folks. He freaking clipped it at that pace. 76%. We loved it. 13 of 17 from the free throw line, baby. Oof. 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 Yes, Giannis getting those free throws. We love it, man. That was the biggest knock on him. We needed him to hit these free throws. And he went out there and did it, folks. I mean, he was basically the only Buck that was getting to the free throw line. PJ Tucker never got there. Brook Lopez got there twice. Chris Middleton got there 3 times, hit them all. Drew Holiday didn't get to the free throw line. Pat Connaughton didn't get to the free throw line. Bobby Portis got to the free throw line and hit him. I mean, Giannis took 17 free throws out of a team 26. So there you go. Giannis getting it done at the free throw line, a true force underneath the basket. And what's a little bit more impressive is that the Bucks had this dominant win with Giannis only playing 37 minutes. Chris Middleton played 40. Drew Holiday played 40. So, real dominant win. Suns kind of made it close early in the third quarter. They were kind of getting blown out a little bit. But then they kind of made it kind of like a 4-point game, I want to say, early in the third quarter, and then the Bucks just put on the pressure, extended the lead to double digits, 20-plus points, and it was game over from that point. So great job by Giannis last night. Great freaking job. And then we had PJ Tucker still at the 3 here. 7 points, 3 rebounds. He only takes 5 shots. Like we know, this is not his game scoring the ball, but he was a +12 on the floor, so real solid there. Now, when we talk about this bench here for the Bucks, Pat Connaughton playing 30 minutes. We loved it, folks. 8 points and 4 assists and 3 rebounds. So once again, nothing great by this man. He only took 5 shots, but just his overall presence on the floor, the great defense that he has. Well, good defense for a bench player. We do think he could be in the starting lineup here for this Bucks team. We've kind of been championing for that a little bit throughout the playoffs, but Mike Budenholzer kind of, holding firm in his beliefs here. But the fact that Pat Connaughton played more minutes than Brook Lopez and PJ Tucker, we're kind of on the right path a little bit, that we wanted to see this man in the starting lineup. We wanted Chris Middleton to move to the 3, put Pat Connaughton at the 2, and get PJ Tucker out of that starting lineup. But he was a +3 on the floor. Real solid work out there. Bobby Portis, I mean, he was kind of a game-time decision. We weren't sure if he was going to go or not, but he actually had a pretty solid night. 11 points and 8 rebounds. Didn't shoot the best. 1 of 3 from the 3, and 36% on 11 shots in 18 minutes. But the biggest thing, he was a +19 on the floor, so we can definitely get behind that. Jeff Teague off the bench. We can wrap it up here. Jeff Teague off the bench, 13 minutes and 0 of 4 from the field. 0 points? Come on. He got to the free throw line twice and missed them both. Jeez. Jeff Teague, you're lucky the team didn't need you last night, because that's abysmal. Absolutely. So, Very well done for the Bucks last night, making this a competitive series now, and now the pressure is back on the Suns, and we've kind of seen the Suns, get it done in the second meeting. We talked about that yesterday on the show. They floundered against the Lakers and the Clippers game 3 when they go the first game on the road, but then they get it done in game 4, and then they also get it done game 6 on the road. So this Suns team, they kind of go with this kind of tradition, this kind of strategy right here of just kind of floundering the first game on the road and then bringing the noise, bringing the funk in game 4. So we're not going to count out the Suns team, and we're not going to overhype this Bucks team. We'll kind of rest on this game for the next day or two till Wednesday, and then we'll make our final breakdown and final pick of the spread. But this is, if you're a Suns fan, you're like, oh my God, this is the end of the world. No, this is what they do, and they win. So all right, let's talk about the Suns now. Chris Paul, and this is what happens when kind of, Chris Paul isn't going for 30 plus, isn't going for 25 plus. Nobody else can really put up that big performance that you need, like a Giannis going for 40 and everybody else just kind of trickling down solid points out here. This Suns team, if it's not Chris Paul and it's not Devin Booker, it's a little nobody out here. So this is the only thing to be concerned about for the Suns last night. So here we go. Chris Paul, 19 points on 14 shots. He shot 57% and only 1 of 4 from the 3. So when Chris Paul isn't cashing out from 3, having his way, the offense can be a little underwhelming offensively scoring-wise. So 19 points and 9 assists for Chris Paul. Obviously, the assists are always there, but this is kind of what Chris Paul is averaging, folks. 19 and 9. I mean, that's kind of his season average. I want to say it's honestly 15 and 8, but it's still in the same realm where, the last couple of games against the Clippers and the first 2 games against the Bucks, this man was going absolutely manic scoring the ball. Absolutely at will, getting whatever he wanted every single night. Absolutely shooting at a high clip. But this is a little bit more of where he's at, and he was the leading scorer last night. So you can't have Chris Paul being the leading scorer at only 19 points and expect to win the game. That's not going to get it done. Then we had Devin Booker, who kind of laid a big egg last night, folks. And this is kind of what we've kind of been saying about Devin Booker. We haven't seen his kind of welcome to the finals, welcome to the playoff moment. It's always like he has a good game when everybody else has a good game, and it's not as impactful. He never has a great game when everybody else is floundering. Giannis, 40 points. 40 points the last 2 games. Welcome to the finals, baby. First time in the finals for Giannis, and he's showing out. Devin Booker's first time in the playoffs, and we just haven't had that big game. Maybe he's got a game, I want to say, was it during that Lakers series? Maybe. Like real early on, games 1 or 2 of that Lakers series, he dropped 40, but it didn't seem that impactful with everybody else kind of getting it done as well. I guess if you want to call that one, I wouldn't disagree with that. But now we need that welcome to the finals moment. You know what I mean? And it's just we haven't been getting that from Devin Booker. So only 10 points. He had 2 assists and 6 rebounds. 1 of 7 from the 3. 21% shooting on 14 shots, folks. Real not great. He only made 3 shots all night. So real bad there by Devin Booker. We need him to be the main scorer. He's their A1 tier 1 scorer out there. Chris Paul's not that guy. He's not James Harden that goes and gets you 25 points every single night. That's why it's real head scratching that people would say that Chris Paul deserves the MVP. He was averaging like 15 and 8. I get his leadership, but I still need production. I still need you to get it done as well. So, Devin Booker, real egg last night, folks. Then we get DeAndre Ayton, 18 points and 9 rebounds. Solid work. I mean, he shot 72%, 8 of 11 from down low. I mean, that's what he does, So he was still kind of getting his. He was only a -6 on the floor as well. Devin Booker a -13. Chris Paul a -13 on the floor. Jay Crowder was getting it done. He was hitting, folks. I mean, and this is a little concerning as well. Y'all wasted a great Jay Crowder game. Wasted it. 18 points on 6 of 7 from 3, folks. 6 of 7 from 3. That's all he took all night, folks. 7 threes, and he made 6 of them. Fantastic. But y'all wasted that game by this man. Damn it. So 18 points, 6 rebounds, and he was a -11 on the floor, so not great. He's trying to guard Giannis, but folks, I mean, Giannis is just nobody on this team can stop Giannis. That's what it's coming down to. I was thinking that maybe the Suns team could have a little bit more success than the Hawks did overall, because when you look at the Hawks 4-5 compared to the Suns 4-5 of Clint Capella and John Collins, it's like that's real solid. It's not A1 tier 1 defense, but it's solid defense that we thought, we were kind of hoping that it would be good against Giannis, but Giannis was running right through that. And then we thought, DeAndre Ayton and Jay Crowder were a little bit of a step above that Hawks, John Collins, and Clint Capella, but they're still getting bitched down low by Giannis as well. So not great here by the Suns team down low. Giannis is having his way, and then that's why this Bucks team is going to potentially win the series, because Giannis is always going to get his, and that's why we only need Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday just to be solid, a little above average, and that's where they were last night. 18 points by Middleton and Drew Holiday 21 points on real solid shooting just overall. That's the only thing Giannis needs, is that good outside shooting, and if it's there, it's going to be trouble, and you better hope Devin Booker and Chris Paul are both going off for 25, 30 plus, because that's what you're going to need to keep up with the scoring pace that Giannis sets at 41 a game, folks. So Jay Crowder a little bit getting bitched by Giannis. He was getting it at the threes, but nobody else was scoring to take advantage. And then Mikal Bridges, 4 points. He only took 4 shots, only played 27 minutes. He was a -1 in those 27 minutes. But, this game was decently close in the first half. Kind of got out of control. End of the second quarter, Suns brought it back at the start of the third quarter. Bucks blew it right back open at the end of the third quarter, midway end of the third quarter, and then the fourth quarter. I believe it was just over by then. What was the official numbers in the fourth quarter? We got the Suns outscoring them by 24-22, but once again, it was just kind of over in the end of the third quarter, where, outscoring the Bucks by only 2 is not going to get it done because the lead was so big at the end of the third quarter. All right, off the bench here for the Suns, Cameron Johnson, 14 points on 11 shots. He took a lot of shots, played 30 minutes as well, and that's not bad. We trust Cameron Johnson to do it. He had a big dunk on P.J. Tucker, highlight dunk, poster dunk. It would have been talked about a lot more had they won. Unfortunately, they did not. So Cameron Johnson shot 45% on 11 shots, 1 of 5 from the three. Once again, that was the big big thing that the Suns just could not do last night. 9 of 31 from 3. That was basically what the Bucks were doing in games 1, game 2. While this Bucks shot 14 of 36 from 3. Once again, a huge difference, a huge disparity in the three-point shooting, which results into the better three-point shooting team winning the game overall. So Cameron Johnson floundered a little bit. Cameron Payne floundered kind of big time as well. Unfortunately, he played big time minutes, 24 minutes, and unfortunately floundered. So once again, not a good look because, I don't think Cameron Payne gets all the recognition he kind of deserves. When you look at the stat sheet, he's never really that great, but his impact just watching the games, that's where his impact is coming from. So once again, kind of giving the media fuel to kind of knock Cameron Payne a little bit. 7 points. He had 4 assists and 4 rebounds, but he shot 30% on 10 shots, folks. 0 of 2 from the 3, 3 of 10 overall from the field. And he was a -18 on the floor, which was worse by far for this Suns team. So not the greatest look here by Cameron Payne. Hopefully this does not influence the Suns head coach. I'm blanking on his name now. Geez. Hopefully that does not influence his decision to kind of sit him a little bit more come game 4, because I do think Cameron Payne is a great player to have and can lead to great wins for this team. And then we had Torrey Craig off the bench. Once again, not great. The Suns bench did nothing great. 2 points for Torrey Craig on 5 shots. Frank Kaminsky playing 13 minutes as well. But, once again, he's not guarding Giannis. We like Frank Kaminsky, but let's be real. It's Giannis down low. You're not going to get it done with him. So Frank Kaminsky, 6 points on 5 shots, but a -12 on the floor in only 13 minutes, folks. So Frank Kaminsky kind of getting bitched a little bit, but that's to be expected. And once again, this is kind of, unfortunate by Dario Saric. How would he have played here in this game 3? Obviously, it's tough to guard the beef down low for this Bucks team. But, the three-point shooting of Dario Saric maybe kind of elevates this Suns team to a little bit of a better chance to win. So the three-point shooting for the Suns team, if it's off, it's off, and you wasted a good Jay Crowder game. So Suns end up losing by 20. Truly unfortunate. Devin Booker, man, come on. You're kind of, Giannis is the biggest name, but maybe Devin Booker is the biggest shooter. Do you want to phrase it like that? He's definitely kind of the number 2 superstar. Obviously, I put Giannis over Devin Booker, but Devin Booker, you're the biggest star on your team. You had that great playoff run. You got it done last year in the bubble, just missing the kind of playing tournament. let's have your coming out to the finals party. Come on, get it done. Put up the 40, put up the 41, shoot efficient for once. Even in the wins, he wasn't the most efficient. So we'll see what happens in game 4 for the Suns team. Can they get back on track? The shooting was just the only part that hurt this Suns team. Obviously, Giannis is always going to get his. You can win with Giannis only getting 41 or with getting 41. We've seen it. You've done it in game 2. You can still win the game while Giannis going beast mode mammoth. You just have to lock up the outside shooters, and then your shooting pace has to be on par with their shooting pace as well of what Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday are doing. So we'll see what the Suns can do here when game 4 comes up on Wednesday, folks. So Suns lose game 3, 120, 100. Giannis goes beast mode like usual.